Radical se reinscreveu por 36 meses. Bora!
Thanks.
Raco 11 poucos se reinscreveu por 16 meses. Bora, boys! reinscreveu por 13 meses.
Welcome back to the region of questions. The questions of can SA do it? The questions of is the new star really going to take over the Dota scene? And the question of are people actually going to turn up into the lobby and play the series? As it turns out in our last series, the answer to that was no. But this time we're ever hopeful is Hikori versus X5T Governor. Talk to me about this team's history of turning up to lobbies and maybe talk about their Dota a little bit as well, if you like.
All I'm saying, lads, is the lobby start time was at 25 past the hour. It's now 26 past the hour, and we still don't have both teams having full 5 players. X5 are the first team to do it, but still, like, the start time was a minute ago. It really is quite baffling that we need to have to, like, it's not that hard, guys. You see the start time, you look at the clock, you join the lobby before the start time. It's on, even yesterday, it just happened as well. But such is life. When you're not really a tier 1 or tier 2 player, you don't have kind of the reps in at joining lobbies potentially, because it is quite baffling. But alas, like you said, Hikori, X5 Gaming, I think X5, they had moments yesterday, right, that we kind of enjoyed their gameplay for like the aggression and the randomness. It, of course, was very rough around the edges. But I feel like we could, I think the game 1 specifically was the treat from X5, right? The Darkseer, Spirit Breaker, this kind of like constant map play and pressure. It was very, very enjoyable.
Yes. Hikori, meanwhile, they kind of got outclassed a little bit. Team Nemesis, they've come into these qualifiers to make a name for themselves. You know, they're sort of a newly formed team, newly moved organization, and, you know, they did kind of make an example out of Hikori. Unfortunately for Hikori, they didn't really bring much to the series. I think everything from draft to play, lanes, nothing really went their way. I'm hoping they've had a good chance to reflect on that, to try to improve and make the necessary adjustments. And of course, it is a much easier matchup this time around. X5 will not be bringing the same caliber you would have thought compared to Nemesis. So Hikori, they've got a chance to sort of redeem themselves and start that climb to get to the standard they need to be at to start challenging these sort of top 4 teams, which have basically cemented themselves in this region. When you do look at the teams in the region, I think there's very clearly a top 4 and then everybody else. You know, it's Playtime, it's Nemesis, it's LGD, and it's Amaru. And then Starbucks is kind of like that 5th place, but could become 4th place. We haven't seen enough from them yet. They were super, super iffy yesterday, in fairness. Like, yeah, they got the 2-0. But, like, if you call that a clean 2-0, then I don't want to see what your bedroom looks like, because that was dirty. It was horrible. It was a mess. But they did manage to pull it off in the end. So we'll see if they're able to also improve and maybe turn it into a top 5 situation. But at the moment, I'm a top 4 guy. That's what I'm calling it. And yeah, if you want to see if Starbucks can pull it back, can win over the people, the hearts and minds of the SA Dota fans, then you will have to join us later on as they play up versus Playtime. Meanwhile, we've got LGD versus Lindor Firtos. That's going to be a complete smackdown if you want to go watch that one. Goodness gracious, LGD are going to destroy them.
Have the hope, man.
No chance for Lindor, not the chocolate. They are getting blasted, but hopefully they have fun whilst doing it. Yeah, there's always a chance, you know. It's very typical of qualifiers for the team to be expected to just sweep everybody unchallenged to drop a series, and then yeah, unlikely. But of course, now we have Hikori vs X5. In fact, we should reflect on the series we had earlier in case people missed that one, because what a series that was, Governor.
Oh.
Okay.
You know what? Let's hold that question, Nomad.
This just in.
This just in. Hold up.
Zero Wolfififi se reinscreveu por 8 meses.
I'll do it.
Boa
Okay.
tarde, Maria Gadunáculo.
Well, I'm afraid that we have a Hikori player currently having a power issue. Now, at least it's been communicated. We know what's going on. Like the last series, we were just sat in the dark, waiting to see if Wonder Kid felt like turning up to the lobby or whatever situation he was in, of course. It could be anything. But yeah, that wasn't great. And this time around, we've got a power issue. So
that's fine. We can deal with those. They're acceptable. You know,
exactly.
they're not a problem. You know, it's like, again, that's how, unfortunately, that's how sometimes life works. You get internet problems, power issues. Of course, it still will follow under the normal guidelines of there will be a timer that will start ticking down. They're probably not going to pause everything for this. Normally it doesn't happen. Again, we'll have to wait and see. I feel like, at least for me, the one thing I am looking for in this the series, kind of looking at Mini, I think I was critical of him yesterday. I think he was probably the underperformer for X5, and like I can see the vision of his gameplay. It's just he's not like clean enough to execute that type of aggression, because like he constantly wants to make moves, constantly wants to be like playing the limits, but then he miscalculates and he dies, and the game gets a little weird for him. So I feel like I don't mind him doing it, but like he has to try and like, you know, get a bit better at that calculation, trying to understand the limits a little bit more on his heroes. Because I think the mentality is very fun to see in a player. Just unfortunately, he was, just sending it in fights that I think other players might have shown a bit more discipline and kind of won over a course of multiple engagements rather than full committing in that one kind of moment.
Yeah, we had the Conquer game, which was
Fala, boys.
good, honestly. We had some.
Já apareceu aí já, vai começar o jogo em breve. Vai ser a X5 versus a equipe da Hikori. O jogo começa agora.
Unhinged and insane, but luckily the Drow was there to carry. And then we had the Primal Beast game, which the lane again was an absolute disaster, but then he was able to pick up.
Tá muito estourado.
He got a triple kill in the mid lane at one point. He did. Completely brought him into the game. Get him his Blink Dagger.
Tá saindo tudo, né? Sai minha inspiração.
And everything feels, sunshine.
Deixa eu mudar aqui.
And meadows full of flowers.